One of the advantages of this set is that you can add your own visuals and print them in different sizes. So I want to show you just quickly how to do that. So when you open up the PowerPoint folder called Blank Mini Schedule Grids, you're going to see 5 slides with the different backgrounds. And these are pictures that are on these slides. So they'll move around. You can do that to them, but you can't do much to them. If you need to only print a part of them, I will show you how to do that in this tutorial. So let's say, though, that I want to make my own pictures. I have 2 or 3 that I need to add that I need to be specific about. So at that point, I'm going to open, I've got 5. And let's say I want to do the chevron. I could do black and white, the multicolor polka dots, the chevron, or the gray. And let's say I just want to do the chevron. So I can actually select the slides if I don't need the others and delete them. So I just click on the slide on the left-hand side and delete. That way I only have the ones I want to work on. Now, if I want to add pictures to this, all I have to do is go to Insert. I can drag them and drop them, so that's one option. So for instance, if I want a picture of task cards and I have it in my downloads file, I can just open my downloads folder and drag it into my PowerPoint presentation, and then I can take the sides of it and resize it to fit into the box. So let's say I needed a real picture of doing task cards. So that's what that would be. And so then I have the picture. Another way to add the picture is to go to Insert, Picture, and go to Picture from File. Now, I know that I have most of my pictures at the moment that I need in the downloads. So let's say I want to add a picture of playing a game from, and this one happens to be from Smarty Symbols. I'm just going to click on the picture and hit Insert. And it's going to put it in my file. And again, I'm going to resize it. And I'm going to move it into my grid. So then I need to add text. And so that's all I have to do for that is go back to my home menu and go to text box. I can also do Insert, text box. I just happen to use this folder. So I then draw where I want the text, which is right above the picture. And then all of the schedules in this packet and in all of my schedules are set up to be using KG fonts, and they're using Miss Kindergarten. So I go down to finding where I have done KG fonts, and I've linked to that font in the file. You can download it for free from Teachers Pay Teachers for personal use. You cannot use it for commercial use without a license, but you can certainly use them on your own schedules. And I'll also link to a video of how to install fonts if that's not something that you have done before. So I go down, and as you can see, I have lots and lots of fonts. I go and find Miss Kindergarten. And I like it because it's a nice plain font. And let's just say it's pretty easy for the kids to read. I want it to be task cards. And I can make this a little bit bigger so it's centered. And there we go. Now let's say I want to do the same thing with my picture of games. I can either insert another text box, and then I can choose Miss Kindergarten, and then I can type game, and I want it to be centered, so I'm going to align it. I could also select this box and hit Edit, Copy, or just on the Mac it's Command C, and that's going to copy it. And then I can actually hit Edit, Paste, or Command V for Velcro, and that's going to give me another box, and I can move it. Sometimes I find that easier than the steps of reformatting all of the fonts. Now, let's say that I want to print this, but I just have these 2 visuals that I want. I can't keep you from having the whole page, but what you can do is go to select the background image of the frames, go to Picture Format, and do crop. And I know, and then I just want to make sure that I've got this little pusher and not the one that resizes it. And I can take it and actually crop it. So now at least for color print, I only have to print those 3 cards. I don't have to print all the rest of it. So that at least will save you some on color ink if you are only adding a couple. So this is how you would add pictures to a file, and then you can print them out. You would have to convert them into PDF in order to be able to print them in the different sizes like you can with the rest of the schedules, but you could do that by File, Export, PDF, and then I'm just going to call this one Sample Visuals. And now you have a PDF file that you can use to resize, which will be the next tutorial. Okay, now I want to show you how to print the files so the visuals are different sizes. If you print them as they are, you will find they're about 2.5 by 2.5, I think. It says so in the file. And you want to make sure that you're always opening it in Adobe Acrobat Reader. It's a free program, so just Google it if you don't have it. All of my files will open more consistently, and you'll be able to print them better that way because they're actually very large image files. And if you try to print them from your browser, they'll just get all screwed up. So when I do that, I have a number of print options that I can use as well. So if I go to File and I go to Print, then I can choose my printer. Let's say I just want to, well, let's say I want to do all of them. If I'm just printing them the full size of the page, you're going to have clicked Shrink Oversized Pages, and they'll print to the size of the page. Let's say that you wanted to make them smaller, in which case you can use multiple. In this case, I've chosen 2 per sheet, and that gives me visuals that are about 1.5 by 1.5. And again, the file has all this specific information, and it's going to print them side by side now in a landscape. So it's just going to print more on less paper, essentially. And so that's easy. If you really wanted to make them smaller, you could do 4 by 4, but that's going to make them teeny, teeny, tiny. I don't know that you really want them that small. So you're probably going to be best off with 2 by 2. And that allows you to have 1.5 by 1.5. You'll use less paper. They just will be smaller for the students to use. And then you hit print and it will print them. And of course you can choose which pages you want to print.